Yule. The long night. Yule holds great significance as a festival in various cultural and spiritual traditions. Here are some key aspects of the significance of Yule. Yule is primarily associated with the Winter Solstice, which occurs around December 21st in the Northern Hemisphere. It is the shortest day and the longest night of the year. Yule marks the turning point when the days start to lengthen, symbolizing the return of light and the promise of renewed life. It is a celebration of the rebirth of the sun and the triumph of light over darkness. Yule represents a time of rebirth and renewal, both in nature and within ourselves. It is a celebration of the cycle of life, where the old year ends, and a new one begins. It serves as a reminder of the continuous cycles of growth, death, and rebirth that occur in the natural world and in our personal lives. Yule invites us to embrace the opportunity for inner transformation and the birth of new beginnings. Yule is a time of joyous celebration and merriment. It is often associated with feasting, gift-giving, and gathering with loved ones. Yule festivities aim to uplift spirits and bring warmth and cheer during the dark and cold winter months. It is a time to express gratitude for the blessings of the year, share abundance, and foster community connections. The symbolism of light is central to Yule. As the longest night of the year, Yule represents the triumph of light over darkness. Candles, bonfires, and Yule logs are lit to symbolize the returning sun, the power of warmth, and the hope that light brings. The lighting of candles and the kindling of fires serve as rituals to dispel darkness and invite positive energies into our lives. Yule celebrates our connection to the natural world. It honors the cycles of nature and the changing seasons. Many Yule traditions involve decorating homes and altars with evergreens, such as holly, pine, and mistletoe, which symbolize resilience and the everlasting presence of life even during winter. Yule rituals often emphasize harmony with nature and fostering a deep appreciation for the earth's gifts. Yule is observed in various spiritual and religious traditions, including Wicca, paganism, and certain forms of heathenry. It is a sacred time for rituals, prayers, and meditation, allowing individuals to connect with divine energies, honor deities, and seek spiritual guidance. Yule rituals often incorporate chants, invocations, and other practices aimed at harnessing the energies of the season. History. The history of Yule can be traced back to ancient pagan and Germanic traditions. Here is a brief overview of its historical development. Yule finds its roots in the pre-Christian winter solstice celebrations of the Germanic and Norse peoples. These pagan cultures held festivities to honor the winter solstice, marking the return of the sun and the lengthening of days. Yule was associated with the deities Odin, Freyr, and Thor, among others. In Norse mythology, Yule was connected to the wild hunt, a ghostly procession led by Odin or other deities across the winter skies. It was believed that the spirits of the dead and supernatural beings would roam the earth during this time, and people would leave offerings and set out food to appease them. With the spread of Christianity, Yule celebrations transformed. The early Christian church sought to integrate existing pagan festivals into their religious calendar, making it easier for people to convert. Yule coincided with the celebration of the birth of Jesus, and by the 4th century, December 25th was designated as Christmas, incorporating some Yule traditions. Yule and Christmas became intertwined. Many Yule customs and symbols, such as decorating with evergreens, exchanging gifts, feasting, and gathering with loved ones, merged with Christian Christmas traditions. In the 20th century, there was a resurgence of interest in ancient pagan and Wiccan traditions. This led to the modern revival of Yule as a distinct holiday celebrated by contemporary pagan and Wiccan communities. These celebrations often draw from historical sources, folklore, and spiritual practices, focusing on the original pagan significance of Yule. Traditions. The traditions of Yule vary depending on the cultural and religious context in which it is celebrated. Here are some common traditions associated with Yule. Burning a Yule log is a central tradition of Yule. A large log, often from an oak or ash tree, is selected and brought into the home. It is decorated with greenery, sprinkled with wine or oil, and set on fire in the hearth. The log burns throughout the Yule festivities, symbolizing the returning light and warmth of the sun. Evergreen plants such as holly, ivy, mistletoe, and pine branches are commonly used to decorate homes during Yule. These plants symbolize life, rebirth, and protection against evil spirits. They are often fashioned into wreaths, garlands, and boughs to bring a festive atmosphere to the surroundings. Yule is a time of feasting and merriment. Families and communities gather to share meals, exchange stories, and enjoy each other's company. Traditional Yule foods vary across cultures but often include hearty dishes made from seasonal ingredients like roasted meats, root vegetables, spiced bread, mulled cider, and fruitcakes. Giving and receiving gifts is a cherished tradition during Yule. It represents generosity, goodwill, and the sharing of blessings. Gifts can be symbolic or practical, and they are often exchanged among family members and loved ones as a gesture of love and appreciation. Singing Yule carols and songs is a festive tradition. These songs often celebrate the themes of Yule, such as the return of light, the beauty of nature, and the joy of the holiday season. Community gatherings may include singing carols around the Yule log or during processions. Connecting with the natural world is an integral part of Yule traditions. People may take nature walks, often in wooded areas, to appreciate the beauty of the winter landscape. Bonfires or small outdoor fires are sometimes lit as symbols of purification, protection, and renewal. Deities. The deities associated with Yule vary depending on the specific cultural and spiritual traditions being followed. Here are some examples of deities that are often considered important during Yule. Odin, also known as the All-Father, is a prominent figure in Norse mythology. He is associated with wisdom, magic, poetry, and war. In some traditions, Odin is connected to Yule and the Winter Solstice. He is often seen as leading the wild hunt during this time, gathering the souls of the departed and symbolizing the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Freyr is a Norse god associated with fertility, prosperity, and the changing seasons. He is often seen as a symbol of the sun and the cycle of life and death. Freyr's connection to Yule is represented through his association with the rebirth of nature and the return of light during the winter solstice. Thor is a prominent god in Norse mythology, associated with thunder, lightning, and protection. While Thor is more commonly associated with the summer solstice festival of Midsummer, or Litha, his role as a protector and his association with the natural forces make him relevant to some Yule celebrations as well. In certain pagan and Wiccan traditions, the Holly King and Oak King represent the dual aspects of the solar cycle. The Holly King reigns during the dark half of the year, including Yule, while the Oak King rules during the light half. The battle between these two kings is seen as a cyclical struggle between light and darkness. Altar decor. The decorations for a Yule altar can vary depending on personal preferences, spiritual traditions, and the specific focus of the altar. Here are some popular altar decorations for Yule. Candles are a central element of Yule altar decorations. They symbolize the return of light and the warmth of the sun. Red, green, gold, and white candles are commonly used to represent the festive colors of Yule. You can place pillar candles, taper candles, or tea lights on the altar, arranging them in a way that feels aesthetically pleasing and meaningful to you. A Yule log can serve as a centerpiece on the altar. It represents the hearth and the returning light of the sun. You can select a small log or a log-shaped candle and decorate it with greenery, ribbons, or symbolic ornaments. Place it prominently on the altar as a focal point. As Yule celebrates the winter solstice and the return of the sun's light, including symbols of the sun on the altar is common. You can use solar symbols such as sun discs, sunburst designs, or representations of sun deities to honor the solar energy and the increasing daylight. Fruits and nuts that are in season during the winter months can be used as offerings or altar decorations. Examples include apples, oranges, pomegranates, walnuts, and chestnuts. They symbolize abundance, nourishment, and the harvest of the previous year. Yule-themed tarot or oracle cards can be placed on the altar to seek guidance, inspiration, or reflection during the holiday season. Select cards that resonate with the themes of Yule and draw from them as a source of insight and connection. Colors. The colors associated with Yule can vary depending on personal preferences and cultural traditions. However, 3 colors commonly associated with Yule. Red is often considered an important color for Yule. It symbolizes warmth, vitality, and the life-giving energy of the sun. Red is associated with the Yule log and the burning flames of the hearth. It represents the festive and passionate spirit of the holiday season. Green is another significant color for Yule. It represents the evergreen plants, such as holly, ivy, and pine, which remain vibrant and alive during the winter months. Green symbolizes renewal, growth, and the resilience of nature. It is also associated with fertility, rebirth, and the return of life as the days start to lengthen. Gold is often used as a complementary color during Yule celebrations. It represents the warmth and radiance of the sun, as well as prosperity, abundance, and divine blessings. Gold is associated with the light that triumphs over darkness during the winter solstice, bringing hope and joy. Incense. Several types of incense are popular during Yule, often chosen for their festive scents and symbolic associations. Here are some examples of incense commonly used during Yule celebrations. Frankincense resin has a rich, uplifting aroma and is often used during Yule. It is associated with spirituality, purification, and the connection with divine energies. Burning frankincense during Yule rituals or ceremonies can create a sacred atmosphere and enhance spiritual awareness. Myrrh resin has a warm, earthy scent and is often used alongside frankincense. It is associated with healing, protection, and transformation. Myrrh can be burned during Yule to purify and cleanse the space and invoke a sense of introspection and inner growth. Pine incense is popular during Yule due to its fresh and invigorating scent. It brings to mind the aroma of evergreen trees, symbolizing the resilience of nature during the winter months. Burning pine incense can create a festive atmosphere and evoke a sense of connection to the natural world. Cedar incense has a grounding and calming fragrance. It is associated with protection, abundance, and spirituality. Burning cedar during Yule can create a sacred space, provide a sense of stability and security, and invite blessings into the home. Cinnamon incense is often used during Yule for its warm and comforting aroma. It is associated with prosperity, vitality, and the holiday spirit. Burning cinnamon incense can bring a sense of joy, celebration, and sweetness to the Yule festivities. Juniper incense has a fresh and uplifting scent, reminiscent of the winter forest. It is associated with purification, protection, and spiritual growth. Burning juniper incense during Yule can cleanse the space, invite positive energies, and help release old energies to make way for new beginnings. Stones and crystals. During Yule, various stones and crystals can be used for their symbolic and energetic properties. Here are some examples of stones and crystals commonly associated with Yule. Clear quartz is a versatile and widely used crystal associated with clarity, amplification, and cleansing. It can be used during Yule rituals and meditations to enhance intentions, purify energy, and connect with the spiritual realm. Clear quartz is also seen as a symbol of winter's clarity and the spark of the returning light. Garnet is a deep red stone that resonates with the energy of passion, strength, and vitality. It is often associated with Yule due to its color, which represents the warm and festive spirit of the season. Garnet can be used to ignite motivation, increase energy levels, and bring a sense of grounding during the colder months. Ruby is a stone of passion, courage, and abundance. Its vibrant red color reflects the warmth and life-giving energy associated with Yule. Ruby can be used to enhance creativity, ignite passion, and bring prosperity and good fortune during the holiday season. Bloodstone is a dark green stone flecked with red spots, resembling drops of blood. It is associated with healing, purification, and renewal. Bloodstone can be used during Yule rituals and meditations to promote inner strength, vitality, and spiritual growth. It is also considered a stone of protection and grounding during times of transition. Citrine is a golden yellow crystal associated with joy, abundance, and positive energy. It represents the warmth and brightness of the sun, making it a fitting stone for Yule celebrations. Citrine can be used to attract prosperity, uplift the spirit, and bring a sense of optimism and gratitude during the holiday season. Moonstone is a shimmering white or pearly stone associated with intuition, feminine energy, and new beginnings. It reflects the soft glow of moonlight and can be used during Yule for connecting with the cycles of nature, setting intentions for the coming year, and embracing the introspective energy of the winter season. Animals. Several animals are associated with Yule in different cultural and spiritual contexts. Here are a few examples. In many pagan traditions, deer hold significance during Yule. They are often associated with the horned god, a symbol of the male divine energy and fertility. The image of the stag with its majestic antlers represents strength, renewal, and the cycles of nature. In Norse mythology, ravens are associated with Odin, the All-Father and chief Norse god. Odin is accompanied by two ravens named Hugin, thought, and Munin, memory, who bring him information from the world. Ravens and crows are seen as wise and mystical birds, often associated with magic and divination. Squirrels are sometimes associated with Yule due to their association with the oak tree, which was highly revered in ancient pagan traditions. Squirrels are known for their energetic nature and their gathering of acorns, which symbolize abundance and sustenance during the winter months. Wolves hold significance in various mythologies and symbolize primal instincts, protection, and community. In some interpretations, the winter solstice and Yule are associated with the mythical figure of the Wolf King or Winter Wolf, representing the wild forces of nature during the darkest time of the year. Horses have been associated with Yule in different cultures. In Norse mythology, Odin's eight-legged horse Sleipnir plays a prominent role. Horses symbolize strength, freedom, and the ability to journey between realms, representing the transformative and liminal nature of Yule. Birds, in general, can be associated with Yule due to their connection with the sky and the concept of flight. Birds such as robins, chickadees, and wrens are often seen as messengers of joy and bringers of good fortune during the winter season. Trees. Several trees are associated with Yule due to their symbolism, traditional use, and historical significance. Here are some trees commonly associated with Yule. Evergreen trees, such as pine, fir, spruce, and cedar, are strongly associated with Yule. They symbolize life, resilience, and the continuation of nature's vitality even during the winter months. Evergreens are often used as decorations during Yule, such as Yule trees or wreaths, to represent the eternal cycle of life and the hope for the return of spring. Oak trees are significant in Yule traditions, particularly in Celtic and Druidic practices. The mighty oak represents strength, endurance, and wisdom. In some traditions, the Yule log is made from oak wood, symbolizing the sacred fire and the strength of the oak's spirit. Ash trees are also associated with Yule in certain traditions. They are revered for their resilience and connection to the cosmic order. In Norse mythology, the world tree, Yggdrasil, is often associated with the ash tree. The ash represents growth, transformation, and the interconnection of all things. Birch trees have symbolic importance in various cultures and are associated with Yule in some traditions. They represent new beginnings, purification, and the coming of light. Birch branches or twigs are sometimes used in Yule decorations or to create besom brooms for ritual cleansing. Holly trees, with their vibrant green leaves and red berries, are strongly associated with Yule in many cultures. They symbolize protection, fertility, and the battle between light and darkness. Holly branches are often used in Yule decorations, wreaths, and as a representation of the seasonal spirit. While not a tree itself, mistletoe holds great significance in Yule traditions. It is a parasitic plant that grows on various trees, especially oak and apple trees. Mistletoe is associated with fertility, healing, and love. It is often hung as a decoration, and the tradition of kissing under the mistletoe is a well-known Yule custom. Flowers. Flowers do not have as prominent of an association with Yule as other elements like evergreen trees, herbs, or symbols. However, a few flowers hold some connection to Yule in certain traditions. Here are a few flowers that are sometimes associated with Yule. Poinsettias are often associated with the holiday season, including Yule. Their vibrant red and green colors make them popular decorative flowers during this time. They are often used in floral arrangements, wreaths, and as potted plants to add festive touches to homes and Yule celebrations. Winter jasmine is a yellow flowering shrub that blooms during the winter months. While not specifically associated with Yule in all traditions, its ability to bloom during the colder months can be seen as a symbol of resilience and the hope for new growth during the Yule season. Snowdrops are delicate white flowers that often emerge during the late winter or early spring, depending on the region. While they may not bloom specifically during Yule, their appearance can be seen as a symbol of the coming of light and the promise of spring after the darkest days of winter. Herbs and spices. Herbs and spices play a significant role in Yule celebrations, infusing dishes and beverages with delightful flavors and aromas. The specific herbs and spices used can vary based on cultural traditions and personal preferences. Here are some popular herbs and spices associated with Yule. Cinnamon is one of the most iconic spices associated with Yule. Its warm and sweet aroma evokes a sense of coziness and festivity. Cinnamon is used in a wide range of Yule recipes, including spiced cookies, mulled drinks, desserts, and savory dishes. Nutmeg has a rich, warm, and slightly sweet flavor that is often used in Yule cooking and baking. It pairs well with cinnamon and is commonly found in recipes for cakes, pies, eggnog, and spiced beverages. Cloves have a strong, aromatic flavor with hints of sweetness and spiciness. They are often used whole or ground in Yule recipes such as mulled wine, spiced cider, ham glazes, and baked goods. Cloves can also be used to create festive pomander balls by studding oranges or apples with cloves. Ginger has a distinct, spicy flavor with a hint of warmth and sweetness. It adds depth to Yule dishes and is commonly used in gingerbread, ginger cookies, spiced cakes, and beverages like ginger tea or ginger ale. Gingerbread houses and cookies are also popular Yule treats. Allspice has a flavor reminiscent of a blend of cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. It is commonly used in Yule recipes for mulled drinks, fruitcakes, cookies, and savory dishes like spiced roasts or stews. Rosemary is an aromatic herb associated with purification, protection, and remembrance. It is often used in Yule cooking to add a savory and fragrant touch to roasted meats, root vegetables, stuffing, and herbal teas. Bay leaves have a mild, herbal flavor and are often used to add depth to savory dishes, including Yule roasts, stews, and soups. They are also used in herbal blends and sachets for their protective and purifying properties. Juniper berries have a distinctive piney flavor and are associated with protection and cleansing. They are used in Yule cooking to season meats, add flavor to sauces or marinades, and are sometimes used in spiced drinks or herbal teas. Foods. The specific foods served during Yule can vary based on cultural traditions, regional preferences, and individual family customs. However, there are some popular foods and flavors associated with Yule in various cultures. Here are a few examples. Roasted meats, such as turkey, ham, or beef, are commonly served during Yule feasts in many Western cultures. They symbolize abundance, sustenance, and the celebration of the harvest. Root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, parsnips, and turnips are often included in Yule meals. They are hearty and nourishing, reflecting the earth's bounty during the winter season. They can be roasted, mashed, or used in soups and stews. Fruits and nuts that are in season during the winter months are often incorporated into Yule recipes. Oranges, apples, pomegranates, cranberries, and nuts like almonds and walnuts are commonly used. They can be included in desserts, stuffing, or enjoyed as a snack. Yule bread or cake is a traditional treat associated with the holiday season. It can be a sweet or savory bread baked with ingredients such as dried fruits, nuts, or spices shaped into symbolic Yule-themed designs. Yule log cakes, a rolled cake resembling a log, are popular in some cultures. Warm beverages such as mulled wine or cider are enjoyed during Yule. These drinks are made by heating wine or cider with spices, like cinnamon, cloves, and orange peel, and are often sweetened with honey or sugar. They provide a comforting and festive drink option during winter celebrations. Recipe: making gingerbread cookies during Yule is a way to celebrate the season, invoke a sense of warmth and comfort, and indulge in a festive treat that has deep cultural and historical associations with this time of year. Gingerbread cookies. This recipe makes approximately 24 to 36 cookies. Ingredients: 3 cups all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon ground ginger, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon ground cloves, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup unsalted butter, softened, 1/2 cup brown sugar, 1/2 cup molasses, 1/4 cup water. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. Line baking sheets with parchment paper. In a medium bowl, whisk together the flour, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, baking soda, and salt. Set aside. In a large bowl, cream together the softened butter and brown sugar until light and fluffy. Add the molasses and water, and mix well. Gradually add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mixing until a dough forms. If the dough feels too sticky, add a little more flour. Divide the dough into 2 portions. On a lightly floured surface, roll out 1 portion to about 1/4 inch thickness. Use Yuletide-shaped cookie cutters to cut out cookies. Transfer the cookies to the prepared baking sheets. Repeat with the remaining dough. Bake the cookies for about 8 to 10 minutes, or until the edges are slightly firm. Remove from the oven and let the cookies cool on the baking sheets for a few minutes before transferring them to wire racks to cool completely. Once cooled, you can decorate the gingerbread cookies with icing or other decorative elements if desired. Sugar plums. Sugar plums are delightful treats traditionally enjoyed during the holiday season. Here's a classic recipe for homemade sugar plums. Ingredients: 1 cup pitted dates, 1 cup dried apricots, 1 cup dried plums, prunes, 1 cup dried figs, 1 cup almonds, 1 cup walnuts, 1/4 cup honey, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon ground allspice, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract. Powdered sugar. For coating. In a food processor, combine the pitted dates, dried apricots, dried plums, and dried figs. Pulse until the fruits are finely chopped and well combined. Add the almonds and walnuts to the food processor and pulse a few more times until the nuts are finely chopped and incorporated into the mixture. Transfer the mixture to a large mixing bowl. Add the honey, ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, ground allspice, and vanilla extract. Mix well until all the ingredients are evenly combined. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and refrigerate for at least 1 hour to allow the mixture to firm up. Once chilled, shape the mixture into small bite-sized balls, about 1 inch in diameter. Roll the sugar plums in powdered sugar to coat them evenly. Place the coated sugar plums on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Repeat the process until all the mixture is used. Let the sugar plums sit at room temperature for a few hours or overnight to dry and set. Once dry, store the sugar plums in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 2 weeks. Crafts. During Yule, there are various crafts and activities that people engage in to celebrate the season and express their creativity. Here are some popular crafts and DIY projects associated with Yule. Crafting wreaths is a common Yule tradition. Using evergreen branches, pine cones, berries, and other natural elements, you can create beautiful wreaths to hang on doors or walls. Adding ribbons, bells, or ornaments can further enhance their festive appeal. Making homemade Yule ornaments is a creative and enjoyable craft. You can use materials like clay, wood, fabric, are felt to create ornaments in various shapes such as stars, moons, snowflakes, and animals. Painting or decorating them with glitter, beads, or sequins adds a touch of sparkle and personalization. Decorating a Yule log is a popular craft that symbolizes the warmth and light of the season. Select a log and decorate it with candles, evergreen branches, dried flowers, ribbons, and other natural elements. You can also carve or paint symbols and sigils on the log to imbue it with personal meaning. Crafting your own candles is a wonderful Yule activity. Use beeswax or soy wax to create custom-made candles in various colors and scents. You can incorporate essential oils, herbs, or spices to infuse the candles with fragrances that evoke the spirit of Yule. Handmade Yule cards and gift wrapping can add a personal and meaningful touch to your celebrations. Get creative with paper, paints, stamps, and embellishments to design unique cards and wrapping paper. You can incorporate Yule symbols, seasonal colors, and heartfelt messages. Engage children in Yule crafts to involve them in the festivities. Crafts like creating Yule-themed paper snowflakes, making salt dough ornaments, crafting Yule wish jars, or designing Yule-themed coloring pages can be enjoyable and educational for young ones. Designing and decorating candle holders is another creative craft for Yule. Use glass jars, mason jars, or ceramic holders as your base and adorn them with paint, decoupage, ribbons, or natural materials like twigs, leaves, or pine cones. Make it. Making your own Yule log can be a wonderful craft and symbolic centerpiece for your winter solstice celebrations. Here's a step-by-step guide. Yule log. Materials: a piece of wood, preferably oak, approximately 4 inches thick and 10 inches long. Drill with a drill bit slightly larger than the diameter of the candles. 3 red candles. Tin foil. Decorative elements such as holly, ivy, and mistletoe. Find a suitable piece of wood, preferably oak, that is approximately 4 inches thick and 10 inches long. This symbolizes the connection to the Oak King. Use a drill with a bit slightly larger than the diameter of the candles to create 3 holes on the top of the log. Ensure the holes are deep enough to securely hold the candles. Take the 3 candles and wrap the bottom part with tin foil. This will help secure the candles in the holes and catch any dripping wax. Wedge the wrapped candles into the drilled holes in the log. Decorate the log with holly, ivy, mistletoe, or any other greenery and Yule-themed ornaments you prefer. These elements symbolize the everlasting life and the rebirth of the Sun King. Find a safe and suitable place for your Yule log, preferably in a fireplace or on a fireproof surface. On the eve of the winter solstice or during your Yule celebration, light the 3 candles on the log. As you do, you can welcome the rebirth of the Sun King, symbolizing the return of light and warmth. Remember to exercise caution when working with candles and fire, and ensure you follow all safety guidelines. Enjoy the warmth, beauty, and symbolism of your handmade Yule log as you celebrate the winter solstice and the turning of the wheel of the year. Rituals and spells. Performing a spell or ritual to spread peace can be a beautiful way to infuse positive energy into your surroundings. Here's a suggested spell utilizing sugar plums. Sugar plum peace spell. Ingredients: sugar plums, either homemade or store-bought, white candle. Large bowl or tray. Moon water, water charged under the light of the moon, intentions for peace and love. If you have a recipe for sugar plums, follow it to create these sweet treats. As you work, focus on imbuing the sugar plums with peaceful energy. Visualize the energy of peace infusing the ingredients and permeating the entire process. Find a quiet and peaceful area where you can perform the ritual. Place a white candle in a large bowl or tray and arrange the sugar plums around it, creating a sacred space. Light the white candle, representing purity and peace. As you do so, visualize the flame radiating peaceful energy and filling the space with its warm and calming glow. Take the moon water and sprinkle it gently around the outside of the dish, forming a circle. As you sprinkle the water, say the following words or adapt them to suit your intention. Bless these treats with peace and love, intentions sweet from below to above. May they bring harmony and calm, spreading peace like a healing balm. Feel the intention behind your words and envision the energy of peace infusing the sugar plums and the space around them. Once the ritual is complete, the sugar plums are ready to be shared. Serve them at a holiday gathering, offering them to family and friends. As people enjoy the treats, the peaceful energy you imbued into them will be shared and spread among the attendees. Remember, the power of spells and rituals comes from your intention and belief. Approach the process with mindfulness, focus, and a genuine desire to spread peace. Adapt the spell to fit your personal beliefs and practices, and feel free to customize it with additional elements or symbols that resonate with you. One delightful ritual involving gingerbread that you can perform during Yule is a gingerbread blessing ceremony. This ritual celebrates the warmth and sweetness of the holiday season and can be done alone or with a group. Here's a step-by-step guide. Gingerbread ritual. Materials: gingerbread cookies, cleansing herbs or incense, candle. Bake or acquire gingerbread cookies in various shapes and sizes. Gather your ritual tools, such as candles, incense, and any other items that hold significance to you. Find a quiet and comfortable space where you can perform the ritual. Cleanse the space with purifying incense or performing a cleansing ritual of your choice. Light a candle to represent the flame of transformation and warmth. Invoke the energy of the season, calling upon the deities or spirits that resonate with you. Offer a prayer or chant to honor the turning of the wheel and the energy of rebirth and renewal. Take a moment to connect with the gingerbread cookies, feeling their warmth and sweetness in your hands. Hold each cookie individually and infuse it with your intentions and blessings for the coming year. Speak your wishes, hopes, and dreams into each cookie, visualizing them being absorbed by the gingerbread. Invite others to participate, if present, and offer them a gingerbread cookie. As each person takes a cookie, they can share their own wishes or blessings for the holiday season or the coming year. Express gratitude for the blessings received and the energy shared during the ritual. Snack on the gingerbread cookies together, savoring their flavors and the collective energy imbued within them. Extinguish the candle and offer a final thank you to the deities or spirits that were invoked.